Yo! What's good, everybody? It's your boy King Don. I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be doing a new what if. It's what if Deku learned cheat blocking or had cheat blocking. I really like this idea because I was watching Avatar The Last Airbender like on Netflix, and I was like, that she looks pretty cool, and I was like, wait, maybe this could go on My Hero Academia. You guys understand, you get it. So yeah, before we get the video started, I just wanted to know, if you guys didn't know, I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you guys are looking for a new part or something, always check on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday to see my new content. So yeah, because a man's got school in that, and he's got to focus. So I have these days dedicated for that day, what I'm saying? Anyways, without further ado, let's get started. We start this what if at where Izuku, of course, finds out he's quirkless as usual, and that part goes the same. And after Izuku asks if his mom could be a hero, Inko says you could, maybe, if he maybe trained or something, and Izuku would hear this, and honestly, he wouldn't be expecting that answer. He was expecting his mom to say no or yes or something else besides that. And Izuku was like, wait, what do you mean? It's like, you could maybe get some classes or something. I don't know, Izuku. I just don't want you to give up on your dream just like that. Because I know how much you admire heroes, and I can't bear to see you like this, honey. And Izuku would be like, yeah, okay. Maybe I can go to martial arts class or something. And Inko would be like, alright then, so tomorrow you want to go and find a place? Izuku's like, yes, yeah, I really want to do that. And they're like, okay. So the next day, Izuku and Inko would just be looking around for different places they could be until they found a dojo. And honestly, the dojo didn't look full at all. It was completely empty. So they go inside and they ring the doorbell, and they're like, is anyone here? And then a person comes from the back saying, oh yes, oh yeah, we open, okay, hi. And Inko will be like, hi, is this a dojo? And she'll be like, yes, this is actually a dojo. How can I help you? Like, can I maybe enroll my son into this class? She's like, oh yeah, sure. What's his age? He's like, he's 4 years old. Okay. Quirk? He's quirkless. He wants to get some defense and all that stuff. And she'd be like, quirkless. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty rare, because I don't see any quirkless people every day. She's like, yeah, Zuko wants to become a hero, and well, he doesn't want to give up on his dream because he's quirkless, so that's why we're here. She's like, inspiring. What's your name? He's like, Izuku Midoriya? He's like, oh, my name's Ty Lee. And he's like, hello, I'm gonna be your sensei, and don't worry, kid, I'm gonna make you into a top tier hero. And Izuku gets excited. He's like, really? It's like, yeah. And I know something just for you. But remember, Izuku, it's gonna be very hard. Do you think you can do it? And Izuku was like, yeah. And she's like, all right then. Well, come back tomorrow and we'll get our classes started. And Izuku would be excited, and Inko would be like, all right then, see you tomorrow. So Izuku comes back the next day, and Ty Lee would be there, and she would greet him. And Izuku would ask, so what are we going to get started on? And she's like, before we get started, I want you to tell me everything about yourself, Izuku. She's like, oh, yeah. Basically said everything then. My name is Izuku Midoriya. 4 years old. And I just found out I was quirkless. But I want to learn this martial arts so I can become a strong hero just like All Might. And yeah. And Ty Lee was like, huh. Well, let me tell you about me. My name's Ty Lee. I'm 24 years old and quirkless. And Zuko be like, wait, you're quirkless too? She's like, yes. And Zuko's like, and you teach martial arts? She's like, mm-hmm. And Zuko be like, wow, so you get all of this, right? It's like, yeah, I understand, Zuko. And that's why I really wanted to take you in, because I wanted to show you that quirks quirks are not as special as you think. And Zuko's like, what are you talking about? Like, people with All Might, do you not see their quirks? It's amazing. It's like, true, but I could probably take them on. And it's gonna be like, what kind of training are you doing? So it was like, she was like, well, you'll see. So yeah, Tylee starts to explain to Izuku that she, at a young age, was very agile, extremely agile. She would just be doing cartwheels everywhere, just doing spins and backflips and all that stuff, and her agility just went out the roof, and she kept practicing for years until she actually went to a circus, and she got even better there. But the circus wasn't a good idea, so she stopped and took her talent somewhere, and it led her to this dojo where she's hoping to show people what she knows. And well, Izuku, you're kind of the first person that's come here. And Izuku's like, wait, what, really? He's like, yeah, because let's just say partner is really picky. And May's like, sometimes she scares me. But anyways, I gotta get you ready before you even meet her. She's gonna be much tougher than me. And Izuku like, okay. So yeah, so Tylee would start showing Izuku, like just showing her how agile she is and all that stuff, and Izuku would be excited. So she would start teaching Izuku to become more agile and trying to build up on his agility. So she'll start by making him a little more flexible, and they'll just be doing stretches. And Izuku, his first thing was be able to learn how to split, which was painful. But eventually Izuku was able to do it, and Ty Lee was very impressed of how determined he is to do this. She's never seen anyone like this, and she's yet again starting to like this kid even more. Not in that way. Don't make it weird. Just in a way she's interested. No. Yeah, I'm just not gonna. You know what I mean. Yo, oh my gosh. Anyways, so yeah, she would go on to teach Izuku more things, and he'd basically be doing gymnastics at this point. And Izuku, after about few years, would actually become very good at this, and it'd become a little easier. And I keep saying Hatsumi. Tylee would see that Izuku's gaining more progress than she did, and she would be like, what the? I thought I was extremely agile. And look at Izuku. Izuku's already doing like those, I know about like balancing beams, and I don't know anything about gymnastics. So just, if you do gymnastics, he mastered everything. Let's just say that. And you guys, people, but no, you can't master everything in this minimal years. Yeah, just allow it, man. So I'm just gonna say it. Now Izuku, I'll say it took him 3 years, and now he's 8 years old. Is my math's correct? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, wait. No, I'm an idiot. It took him 4 years. 4 years. So now he's 8. Wow, you guys, that's embarrassing. I'm not editing that out because I'm just doing straight off the top. So yeah, if there's mistakes, then mistakes. Anyways, so she would be impressed that Izuku's be able to catch up to her ability, and Izuku would be like, wow, these were a long 4 years. She'll be like, yeah, I'm really impressed. And Izuku will be like, yeah, but how come I still haven't met this Misty person, your partner? She's like, like I said, until you get to my level, she won't even see you. And she'd be like, okay. So Izuku would continue on, and that's when they actually start fighting. She would tell Izuku now it's actually time for you to start your training, because now you got the agile part down. Now the rest, it's gonna become even easier. And yeah, Izuku would go on to learn actual martial arts now, and he becomes very good after 2 years, and now he's 10 years old. And Izuku would be gaining progress, and he would finally finish that part of it, and Ty Lee yet again would be impressed, because all these years she's known this kid. Keeps getting blown away by his ability, until Izuku, she told her it's time for us to actually have a battle. And Izuku's like, wait, but don't you think I'm not ready? He's like, no, I think you're more than ready. So yeah, they start to have a fight, and Izuku, surprisingly, is starting to get an upper hand on her. And Izuku, because he's gotten an upper hand on Ty Lee, he's starting to become a little more cocky and less careful. And Ty Lee would see this, and she would instantly become unimpressed, and she would say, Izuku, what is this? And they'll both stop fighting, and Izuku would be like, what? It's like, you're slacking. I didn't teach you how to fight like this. I told you to always be on your guard and not give up your ground until the battle's done. And Izuku's like, but I saw that you were losing ground, and I was easily dominating you, and yeah, my ability is just better than yours. And Ty Lee's like, excuse me? And it's like, yeah, I mean, that is the truth. You said that I'm progressing faster than you, so what's the point here? And Ty Lee would be like, oh, is that what you think now? Okay. Alright, then Izuku, fight. Come on, let's fight. And Izuku would be like, exactly. Yeah, alright. So then they go back to the fighting bows, and Izuku would go back in there, try to stop Ty Lee. And he would actually get Ty Lee to let's just say critical point, not really critical point. And he's like, you see, I'm sorry, Ty Lee, but this is just reality. And she just smiles and be like, kid, you don't know nothing. And pa, quick jabs to Izuku's chest, and Izuku's like, wait, what did you? And he just starts going, his arms are just numb. He's like, what the hell? And Ty Lee's like I said, you don't know nothing. And she just kicks him across the room, making Izuku hit the wall and just fall to the ground. And Izuku would be like, Ty Lee, what the hell was that? And Ty Lee's like, the next phase of your training. It's something called chi blocking. And Izuku be like, what the hell is that? It's like, it's quick, precise jabs to the victim's pressure points. And, well, that's your chi point. So if I stop the flow, you're unable to use your part of that body that I blocked the chi from. And Izuku would just be impressed. He's like, you've been keeping this technique from me from years? For years? She was like, you weren't ready for it. But finally the time has come. Izuku, you spent how many years now? 6? Yeah, 6 years to get this point. And I'm telling you, Izuku, it's gonna be worth it. And Izuku be like, alright, I'm ready. And she'd be like, alright then, it's time to get started. So he would teach Izuku how chi blocking works, and eventually, after 4 long years, Izuku yet again has become a master of chi blocking. And Izuku will figure out that chi blocking it's really deadly, because all those years ago when Ty Lee said she could probably take most top tier heroes, it's because she only needs to chi block one vital point on someone, and that completely stops the use of the quirk. Well, not completely, for a few minutes. And whilst that few minutes is going on, that's when you take them down. But this point is so precise that it's impossible to most people besides her, because she's been doing this for a long time. And eventually she was able to find that point so easily. And it was just, she'll just be able to finish people off. Period. As they say, period, man. And Izuku would hear this and he would be completely happy. And it's like, alright then, I guess I'll work my way to that. So anyways, so Ty Lee's like, yeah, but besides that, you basically finish your training, Izuku. And Izuku be like, wait, really? She's like, yeah, you completed everything that you need to become a pro hero. And you worked for it for 10 long years. When I was back then, I was 24 and now I'm 34 and calm down. Yeah, so congrats. And Izuku would be like, thanks, May. Thanks, Ty Lee. I keep saying May. God dang it. Thanks, Ty Lee. And I really appreciate it. And don't need to worry. I won't forget you when I become the #1 hero. And Ty Lee's like, well, don't be so cocky, kid. Alright then. Izuku, remember, I've done everything I could teach you about cheap blocking, but to truly get to the point where you can stop someone's quirk, that's something I cannot do for you. That's something you have to unlock for yourself. That's when you can truly use the full power of chi blocking. I mean, it sound like a freaking, like the Nine Tails or something. But anyways, but it's still deadly, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, so after 10 long years, Izuku would be finally finished his training, and it would be the beginning of the anime. So Izuku would be going to school, and as usual in the anime, like the two like, you guys are, and yeah, and Bakugo has his speech, and when they call about Izuku's name, they just laugh at him, like the workless kid, as usual. So after school, Bakugo comes and tries to bully Izuku this time, but Izuku, after 3 years and after 10 years of training, Izuku is not really a crybaby or none of that. He knows how to take pain, he knows how to give pain, and he knows how to talk trash. So he does not really care about Bakugo at this point. So Izuku would just be like, okay, bye-bye, Bakugo. And Bakugo, I'm still talking, bye. And he would be gone. So the sludge man would be coming and, oh no, what am I saying? Izuku would be walking down as usual, and he'd be like, he would be thinking, wait, what is that point? God dang. After 10 years, Ty Lee doesn't even show me how to... Oh, God dang. Anyways, so he'd be walking and he's distracted by thinking about it, and that's when the sludge villain attacks and grabs Izuku like, give me your body, kid. And Izuku would try not to panic and try his sheep blocking, but he realizes that this guy, he's sludge. He can't really chi block sludge, and that's when Izuku instantly realizes that he has a long way to go, and even though he has chi blocking, he's still quirkless, and he has to be more careful and more aware than everyone. And that's why Ty Lee got mad at him all those times when he used to lose care and wasn't focused. And now he realizes the real lessons that she was actually teaching him. And so could be like, my first day of training, and now I'm gonna die. And Izuku just kind of accepted and told All Might as usual, I am here to try to smash. No, to smash. And yeah, Izuku this time wouldn't be knocked out because, yeah, like I said, he's used to pain. And he would actually run up to All Might and just act like a fanboy and ask for autograph. And All Might would comply. So this time, Izuku doesn't jump onto All Might's leg because he doesn't need that conviction to know that he can be a hero without a quirk, because yeah, these master is a living proof that she's really powerful, she's really strong, and she's quirkless. So yeah, don't need a quirk for that. So anyway, so Izuku goes home and he just researches what he can do before the UA exam, because he really needs this thing before he can go become a hero. And Izuku's like, alright, forget about that. Now it's just time to train. So Izuku's going to sleep and he realizes, he's like, wait, I just realized, who was Ty Lee's partner? I've never got to meet her. He's thinking about it. It's like, huh. He's like, yeah, I'm actually going to go to the dojo to find out. And yeah, so that's what he does for the next day. And he goes to Ty Lee's place, Ty Lee's dojo, and he asks, hey, Ty Lee. And Ty Lee's like, it's only been like a day, Izuku, and you already miss me? And Izuku be like, don't get it twisted. But of course I do miss you. I freaking came here almost every day for 10 whole years, so of course I'm gonna develop a habit just to come here. And she'll be like, okay, fair enough, but what actually are you doing here? Oh yeah, I came to see that partner of yours. And Ty Lee'd be like, oh crap, I forgot about that. It's like, how come I've never seen her? I come here almost every day and I never see her in the store. And he's like, oh, that's because she's always in her room. She's like a introvert. And it's like, okay. And you said once that without this I wouldn't be on her level? Well, I never said that. She's not that strong. What are you talking about? I never said that. And he's like, what? It's like, it was just motivation. Don't you figure this out by now, Izuku? Okay, whatever. Just come on in. Izuku comes on. He's like, okay. All right then, who's this person? He's like, oh, her name's May. It's like, May? So he walks into a room and you just see her watching TV, just eating popcorn, and it's gonna be like, this is the person I waited 10 years to meet? He's like, yeah, whatever. And yeah, he goes and he introduces himself. I'm May. I'm Izuku. She's like, I'm May. And she's like, oh, you're that kid that Ty Lee's been training all these years? Oh, okay. It's like, what does that mean? It's like, I thought you'd be a little more impressive, but whatever. And Ty Lee'd be like, hey, don't diss my student. But Izuku, why are you here? It's like, well, Ty Lee, you said I'm finished your training, but I was hoping, since she's your partner, can I get some training from May? And like, you want training from May? He's like, yeah, but you don't even know what she does. He's like, yeah, but you know, if she's good enough to be your partner, I guess wouldn't she be good enough to train me? And she'll be like, yeah, she is. And like, so yeah, why not? So yeah, Izuku for the 10 months is gonna be trained by May, and she would ask what's her skills, and basically May would say, yeah, I throw knives. Izuku would be like, Raid, really? It's like, yeah, I just throw knives, that's it. I don't know why May was hyping me up, I just throw knives. And Izuku would be like, alright, so are you gonna teach me that? She's like, yeah. First, let me get a sense of where you are. And Izuku would be like, alright then. And Ty Lee would be like, alright then, fighting positions. And Izuku go in a fighting position. And May would just kind of have a robe as usual. And just be like, in a standing normal position. And Izuku would be like, alright. And she goes, go! And that's when Izuku starts running at Mei. And he's about to throw a punch at her, but she dodges it and freaking straight away throws knives at Izuku. And Izuku's like, ah! And he kind of flinches, and then the knife just freaking capture his clothes to make him stuck on the ground. And Izuku's like, what the? And she'd be like, I guess he isn't impressive. And she's like, yeah, Izuku, get up. And Izuku, so yeah, Izuku would be instantly impressed by her and instantly want her to teach her. And she's like, that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, so the past 10 months, Izuku would learn how to use these knives because, like, I wanted to give Izuku an extra thing, because you need as much as you can in this hero society. So Izuku, after the 10 months, he was able to throw the blades as good as Mei. Not as good. Slightly as good as Mei. Having near mastery of, marksmanship. Whatever. And yeah, Izuku would be like, thanks guys, I really appreciate it. These 10 years with you, Ty Lee, and these 5 months with you, Mei, it made me really feel like we were a family. And Ty Lee be like, oh, Izuku, come here. Alright, just go and do good on your test, become a hero already. As it's alright. So yeah, the next day he goes home and he sleeps it off, and he's gonna wake up bright and early for the quirk exam. So Izuku finally wakes up and he heads to UA, and he's like, this is the school. And he walks in full with joy and all that stuff. And this time he saw Bakugo, and he'd be like, oh, it's Bakugo. And while Izuku's not paying attention, he starts to trip, and he's like, whoa. And well, that's when Uraraka was supposed to save Izuku, but Izuku instantly goes on the handstand movement, and he's like, oh, yeah, my handstand has become pretty good. And Uraraka be like, whoa, okay. And she'll be like, how are you doing that? And Izuku just do a backflip back to his normal stance. He's like, doing what? She's like, how did you it looked like you were falling, and then somehow you went to the handstand, and now you just done a backflip to normal. And Zuba, that stuff is easy. It's just, yeah, I was tripping, I was falling, but I'm used to doing all this stuff and cartwheels and all that stuff. It's not special. And Uraraka will be like, what's your quirk? He's like, oh, I actually don't have a quirk. And Uraraka will be like, wait, what? And Zuba like, alright, see you in there. And she'll be like, wait, but he said he doesn't have a quirk? He must be lying, right? Oh, anyways, get in the game, Uraraka. So yeah, she goes back inside, and that's when President Mike starts what they're gonna be doing and all that ish. They write the exam, that goes fine. And he says the Zeppelin robot as usual. So Izuku is on the bus thinking, it's okay, Izuku. You got this. You've been training your whole life for this. And he's like, you got the knives ready? And he checks his sleep. He's like, alright, they're all ready. You got this. It's just robots. Stop psyching yourself out. And he's yelling on the bus, making himself look like a weirdo. So yeah, they get off the bus, and Izuku standing there stretching and all that stuff. And that's when he sees Uraraka pretty nervous. He's like, oh, I should go and talk to her. And that's when he gets stopped by Ida, and Ida's like, oh, you shouldn't distract her. And Izuku be like, and that's when he just jump over Ida. Well, not jump over, more like jump onto his shoulders and then jump off. And he'd be like, hey, you're that kid. You're that girl earlier, right? And you'd be like, oh, yeah, you're that quirkless kid. And people hear quirkless, and they'll instantly look at Izuku, and Izuku's like, yeah, I never caught your name earlier. He's like, oh, it's Chaco Uraraka. He's like, oh, my name's Izuku Midoriya. He's like, oh. He's like, oh, the reason why I came here is because I saw you looking nervous, and I just want to tell you that it's okay, alright? You just gotta relax. I got this technique from my sensei earlier. It's just you gotta breathe in, think of all the negative thoughts, and then blow out. And that air you're releasing, it's all the negative stuff. Just all the negative stuff. And when you breathe in, build it up, release all the negative. And once you do that enough, your body would just be filled with only positive stuff. And Uraka would do it, and she's like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that really worked. Thanks. And it was like, no problem. And yeah, and people would still be staring at Izuku and they'd be like, he's quirkless. What's a quirkless kid doing here? And kind of like do small giggles, and Izuku would notice. And that's when Prince Mal shouts, what are you guys standing for? A hero doesn't wait for a call sign? Go, go, go! And that's when the gate opens and everyone starts running in. And Izuku starts running, and everyone's like, look at that quirkless kid trying to keep up with us. And we're just like, come on guys, let's speed up. And they start speeding up, like acting like they fast. And Izuku be like, that's a joke. And he just starts going ahead of them, and he's like, these guys are slow. So he backflips on top of the guy that was talking trash, and he just starts running on top of everyone until he's finally at the front. And it was like, what the? And Izuku finally finds his 0 point robot, and his first robot, and the robot tries to punch Izuku, but Izuku does a backflip onto his arm and uses one of the mini blades to cut the head off. Well, yeah, cut the head off. And he basically does that going around, getting a total of 35 points, which is solid. It's actually a solid score. And people would see Izuku going around just taking out robots, and they'll be like, this guy was lying, he's probably not quirkless, and all that ish. And that's when the 0 point robot starts coming around and everyone starts running away. And Izuku was going to do the same for himself until he hears a similar voice saying, yeah. And Izuku realizes that was the girl Uraka. So he starts running to her. He just takes off the rubble off her, and he just runs her back to the beginning of the starting line to get some help. And that's when they stop the test, and Uraka's like, thanks. He's saying, are you really quirkless? Like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. I just trained most of my life. She's like, but that agility of yours is insane. It's like, yeah, believe it or not, I actually trained in gymnastics for such a long time that it's basically become second nature to me. And yeah. So yeah, Izuku's agility is basically superhuman at this point. Just wanted to know. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So Izuku goes home feeling good about his score. He thinks it's a solid score, and he waits a few weeks, a whole week, and that's when the letter finally comes. And Izuku, before opening the letter, is like, this about you. This is what you've been working so hard for. Takes a deep breath in, and he opens it, and he sees that it's All Might on the screen, and Zuko's like, oh, it's All Might. And All Might starts talking that he don't know this, and he tells him that he done great on the test, and he also got an extra 30 points for rescuing that girl, getting a total of 65 points, and that's one of the highest on the scoring board. And Izuku got into UA. Izuku's very happy, and he calls Ty Lee and Mei instantly, and he tells them the great news, and they're like, yeah, kind of doing that. And yeah, and Izuku's like, I couldn't have done it for you without you guys. I'm like, shut up, kid, just become the number one hero already. And Izuku's like, you got it. So yeah, the next day he goes down to UA, and he's walking down the hallway, and he sees that their doors are massive, and Izuku thinks that, maybe someone has a giant quirk, you never know with quirks these days. So he goes into the class, and he's hoping maybe not to see Bakugo in his class or anyone like that. And that's when he enters, and he sees Bakugo and Ida arguing about taking the chairs his foot off the chairs and all that stuff. And Baku's like, as usual, and Zuko just kind of rolled his eyes like, oh, god dang it. And that's when he notices Zuko and goes, I am Tenya Ida, and all that ish. And he's like, I'd like to apologize, sir. And Zuko's like, no, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have just jumped over you like that. My bad, man. And yeah, they kind of make up, and that's when he hears, hey, it's the quirkless kid. And he just like, quirkless? And everyone kind of overhears like, quirkless? And Zuko's like, yeah, hey, Uraka. And all that jazz. And Aizawa comes like, I'm Shoto Aizawa. Meet me outside. Put these clothes on. So yeah. So basically in the locker room, Izuku would be changing, and that's when he takes off his shirt. And Izuku would be really ripped, but not, he wouldn't have muscle mass, just he's really defined in a weird way. Not that he's so skinny that he can see the. He has more lean muscle, and Kirishima noticed that. He's like, whoa, dude, you're so defined. What the? How did you get so defined? He's like, well, I've done gymnastics basically my whole life now, so yeah, that's really helped with with shaping me up. Yeah, and she'd be like, wow, that's pretty cool, but why don't you get any mass on you, man? The bigger the muscles, the stronger you are. And Zook's like, true, but it also, the bigger the muscles, the slower you are. And my fighting style more is about speed. Referencing to chi blocking. I know I shouldn't have referenced it, but just for the slow people, I just wanted to, make it... whatever, I'm just talking too much. So they go outside, and Aizawa starts explaining what they're going to be doing, and he calls up Bakugo to the stage, and, Aizawa asks what's your point in middle school, and he tells him the points, and he's like, use your quirk this time to throw it as far as you can. And once he hears that, he's like, and he looks at Izuku instantly, and in his mind, he's like, this is what a quirk can do. And he freaking builds up and throws it yet again, and gets the same results as in the anime. And everyone starts getting excited and saying, this will be fun, we get to use our quirks. And Aizawa, as usual, gets pissed off and tells him whoever comes last will be suspended. So that makes everyone try their best. And the people that overhear that Izuku was quirkless and stuff would instantly look at Izuku thinking that he would probably be the one that's kicked off. But they don't say it, they just think it in their mind because, yeah. So, yeah. Then the first test, it starts with the speed test, and I'm going to say Izuku comes a solid, close second. He actually comes third. He almost came second, but yeah, he just lost. And everyone would be like, what the? What? He's speaking out of this world. What the? And Kirishima and Van, like, he really wasn't lying that he needs speed. So anyways, so Izuku go on to do the other stuff, and the grip test, he'll do really extremely better than what he done in the anime. And all that stuff, and in total, Izuku comes 8th place, and a lot of people were surprised by that. And Mineta would be last, and everyone looked at Mineta feeling sorry for him until as I was like, oh, okay, well done, everyone. And like, wait, what? No one's getting suspended. It was just a logical deception to make you guys try harder, and everyone got mad as usual. So yeah, and no one's suspended. So after school, everyone's just asking Izuku questions like, wait, is it true that you're actually quirkless? And Zuko's like, yeah. They're like, but how did you get into school? He's like, well, about to explain. And then Bakugo Bujin's like, no one gives a damn what Izuku can do. You must have lowered his standards if he got in. And it's just making this big ruckus. And Izuku's like, screw Bakugo. So he just starts walking back. And that's when Ida comes. And all that is, Uraka comes. And they become friends as usual. So the next day was a pretty boring day because they weren't really doing anything special, just English, science, and all that stuff. Until later that day when everyone's sitting in class and All Might comes running through the room saying, running in like a hero or whatever like that, wearing his Silver Age costume. And everyone is getting excited, including Izuku, because he's met All Might, but it's still cool to see him. He's still his idol, as is everyone's. So yeah, he starts to explain that today they're going to be doing a combat exercise where they going to use their quirk to have a fight indoors, because most bad guy fights are indoors or whatever. And he says it's time for you guys to have your hero costumes. So this is where I didn't know what to give Izuku. I was thinking to give him Mei's costume, but like at the same time, that's So I just said screw it, and I decided to give Izuku like Aang's costume. I decided to give him the Air Nomads thing, just for the Air Nomads thing, and yeah, basically that. Just because it's pretty irrelevant, but you know. Yeah, you know. So yeah, Izuku comes out and Uraka starts kind of praising Izuku's costume, saying it's pretty cool, and she's looking at the pants. She's like, well, that's the kind of pants that I wanted, but they gave me skin tight. And Izuku would compliment her, saying that it fits well on her. You don't need to bug anything, and she would kind of blush from that as usual. So yeah, All Might starts to explain what they're going to be doing in the exercise, and he says they're going to be picking random teams, and I'm just going to switch it up a little. So the teams, as usual, it's going to be Izuku and Uraka and Bakugo and Todoroki this time. Jeez, big man Todoroki, yeah? So yeah. Izuku before the thing is staring down Bakugo, and Bakugo staring him down, and Uraka would see this and ask, do you guys have history or something? She's like, yeah, he was just like a friend, then he became a bully ever since, and it's kind of just been like that, and yeah, and she'd be like, wow, so this is really personal. It's like, yeah, it is personal, but I know how to keep a level-headed, even though it's tough. And she'd be like, oh, Izuku, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really surprised that you gone to UA without having quirk. How did you do that? Izuku's like, well, then he's like, actually, just watch the exercise. And Uraka, what does that mean? Shh, just watch the exercise. So yeah, All Might shouts, go! And they start coming in, and instantly freaking Todoroki freezes the building and to have the intention to make them stuck. And by Todoroki doing that, Bakugo was pissed off. He's like, hey, what the hell's wrong with you? No, I can barely use my explosion in the air. And Todoroki's like, it's not my fault that your quirk is weaker than mine. And Bakugo's like, what'd you say? And just by him saying that, he just gets, let's just say, a boost. It's not actually a boost, but he forces his explosions to come out, and it works. So yeah, Todoroki just stays there trying to freeze the building even more. But Izuku kind of saw this coming, so Izuku perfectly timed it. When the ice was coming at them, Izuku grabbed Uraka, and as the ice was about to touch them, Izuku jumped off. And then the ice went past and he jumped down, allowing their feet not to be frozen. They told Uraka that it's just try not to slip, alright? And she's like, right. And that's when he hears explosions, and Izuku be like, is that Bakugo? Wait, how is Bakugo able to whatever? And the Bakugo's like, die, Deku! And he's like, crap! And he pushes Uraka in the way, and he backflips back, and Bakugo's like, Deku! And Izuku be like, just analyzing Bakugo, and Bakugo would be pissed off and come at Izuku, and Izuku would see this right off the bat, and like in the anime, he would grab Bakugo's hand and slam it into the ice. Well, the ground is ice, so slamming onto the ground of ice. And Bakugo, crap! And Izuku's like, Bakugo, if you want to fight me, you gotta have a leveled head, because that tempo of yours, it's gonna be your downfall. And all that ish. And everyone watching, they're like, whoa, Zuko's able to do that? Kind of like that. And Bakugo's like, God damn it. And he gets back up, tries to explode Izuku, but Izuku is too agile for him and a little too quick. And Bakugo's like, God damn it. And he tries to explode Izuku's face, but Izuku dodges it and slips behind his arm and freaking uppercuts him, and Bakugo gets dazed and he's like, screw this, and he pulls out his gauntlet and he's like, do you know what's in here? My gauntlet's been filling up with nitroglycerin. It was harder than usual with that stupid ice quirk, but I was able to do it. It's over. And while Bakugo was about to pull, Izuku knew if he just stood there, he's gonna get caught. So he starts, he runs to Uraka. He's like, Uraka, touch me! And Uraka's like, all right. And she makes Izuku weightless. And he's even, well, not weightless. It makes him lighter than before. And Izuku's like, haha, this is real agility. And Izuku's freaking running up to Bakugo, and Bakugo's like, wait, what? And he's trying to aim at Izuku, but Izuku's too fast. Well, not too fast, but you know what I mean. He's just jumping all over the place, and Izuku jumps to Bakugo's arm, and he grabs the gauntlet off, and he throws it off. And Bakugo's like, God damn it, trying to grab Izuku, but Izuku grabs his hand, and he slams him over again, and Bakugo's like, God damn it, and he's about to throw a massive blast at Izuku, and Izuku's like, it's probably time to use it, and and he freaking chi blocks Bakugo, and Bakugo just suddenly becomes wobbly, and he's like, what did you do to me, Deku? And Izuku's like, this is why I got into UA, Bakugo. This is why I'm going to become a hero. And everyone's looking at like, what did Izuku do? And All Might also be intrigued what this Izuku has done. And Izuku will just be like, it's just that you know, I'm never going to lose to you. And Izuku knocks Bakugo out, and Bakugo falls to the ground. And everyone's like, kind of in the room. Everyone else in the class is just legit like shouting, like, excited for Izuku. And Uraka be witnessing this and be like, whoa, you're no joke. And Izuku just kind of laughs it off and he's like, alright, let's go. And this time Todoroki was just kind of there like waiting. He's like, I'm surprised they haven't called the test yet. And did my ice not freeze them? But it must have slowed them down. Let me go and check. And he's about to check until the door starts just burst open, and then Todoroki reacts by throwing more ice, but Izuku dodges it doing a backflip, and Uraka jumps away. And Todoroki's like, I guess the freezing the nice and Bakugo. And Izuku's like, you can say that again. And Todoroki's like, but you're not gonna lose. You're not gonna win against me. And he throws ice, and Izuku's like, I'm not sure about that. And he jumps on top of the ice, and Todoroki's like, wait, what? And Izuku's coming at him at top speed, kind of like Stain. And Todoroki kind of panics, and he wants to use his fire side, but he resists this and tries to do more ice. But Izuku just dodges it and jumps off a beam and straight to Todoroki's face and kicks him. And Todoroki's like, God damn it, and he got stung, and he was about to throw more ice until Izuku freaking chi blocked his hand, and his hand just went flippy, and he's like, wait, what the? And he's about to do his foot until Izuku quickly does it there, and Todoroki's complete right side is just numb, and he's like, God damn it, and he's like, why? And it's like, how? And he was tempted to use his fire side, but he just doesn't, and he lets them win. And they're like, Izuku, Midoriya, and Jaku Uraka wins, the heroes team, and everyone's just going crazy. And Izuku comes back, and everyone's like, what the heck was that, Izuku? It's like, what? Yeah, they both went numb. And All Might be like, the obvious MVP of this battle is Izuku Midoriya. And can anyone tell me why? And Momo would be like, Izuku took advantage of these areas, and he was able to take down Bakugo swiftly and quickly. He was able to prevent Bakugo from using that giant explosion, would have made the bomb even trigger. He even used Bakugo's anger against him. And he involved his teammate by using a quirk to make him even weightless, which makes him even faster, which is a quite smart strategy to do. And against Todoroki, he was able to finish the fight quickly and discreetly, whilst his other partner was able to get the bomb. Izuku's tranquilizing techniques seem to neutralize the villains very quickly, which was quite effective. And All Might will be like, whoa, quite an analysis. And he's like, quite impressed with her. He's like, yes, all right. You see, I don't know young Midoriya's situation, but he proved to himself that he is a really good hero and he knows what he's doing. So this is just an opportunity for you guys to learn. Alright? Class dismissed. Well, no, not class dismissed. He does the next thing and all that ish. So yeah, everyone basically just keep praising Izuku, and after class and all that ish, Todoroki would come to walk up to Izuku's like, hey. And Izuku would be like, hey. He's like, what the hell did you do earlier? Izuku's like, oh, it's just my fighting technique. He's like, yeah, but why did you only do it to my right side? Did my father put you up to this? And Izuku be like, whoa, alright, chill out, man. It's just a technique that I use. It's called chi blocking. It's an ancient stuff. And nah, I don't even know who your dad is. He's like, stop the cap. You know who my dad is. He's like, who? It's like, Endeavor, the number 2 hero. It's like, oh, you're the son of Endeavor. Oh. And Todoroki's like, are you lying to me? Because you could have done my whole body like you done to Bakugo. Instead, you just done my right side. That seems fishy to me. And it was like, you're looking too deep into this, man. I literally just done your right side because that's the side you're using your eyes. Alright? And Todoroki's like, whatever. And he just walks off. And Zuko's like, yo, I'm not gonna, that guy is weird. What the heck? And he just walks home. So the next day, as I was saying, you guys done good job on the combat exercise. Today you're gonna go to the USJ as usual. And yeah, they go on the bus and they have a conversation. And Sue brings up, hey, who do you guys think is the strongest in their class? And Kirishima is like, I honestly think it's Izuku. And it was like, yeah. And like, some people are like, hey, what's Izuku's quirk? And Izuku was about to answer. He's like, well, then Uraka's like, well, he's actually quirkless. They're like, what? No, you're not quirkless, right? That was just a joke. And Izuku's like, no, I'm quirkless. They're like, then how would you be able to stop Bakugo? And your agility is insane. What the? Izuku's like, well, let's just say that I practiced real hard, and I always wanted to be a hero. And when I found out I was quirkless, I was devastated. So I put myself through some grueling training to get to this point, and now I'm here. But I'm not gonna stop there. Just because I made it to UA doesn't mean I'm gonna stop training myself. And yeah, that's when I even learned how to use these. And he shows these knives and I'm like, whoa, what the? We didn't even know you had that. It's like, why didn't you use that in the combat exercise? And saying, yeah, I just didn't think it was necessary. And I'm not gonna lie, I just wanted to show you guys that I didn't need any weapons to stand my ground. And everyone's like, whoa, dude, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty manly. And all that ish. And yeah. So they arrive at the USJ, and 13's there meeting them, and she welcomes them, like, welcome to the USJ, as usual. And it's like that. And yeah, she's telling them all this about this thing of the USA, and that's when a purple portal starts to open, and everyone's confused. Like, what the heck is this portal? And that's when villains just start splurging out. I like saying that, splurging out. And as I was like 13, these are real villains, and everyone's like, real villains? It's like, get the kids out of here. I'm gonna have to slow them down. And Zuko's like, I'm gonna help you. And as I was like, no, you have to stay there. And Zuko's like, you can't do this by yourself. Your firing style doesn't match it. And it's like, yours does? He's like, yeah. Remember, I can neutralize them and you can knock them out with your cloak. We could work together. And as I was like, all right, kid, let's go. And Zuko helps Aizawa take down the villain. So they start running down, and Aizawa instantly turns off people's quirks and knock them out. And Aizawa's like, go for those punches. Zuko's like, right. So Zuko runs to them, and they're like, what, the kids after us? And Zuko just smiles, and he just starts running to them. And the guy throws a punch, and Zuko instantly just G-blocks his arm, just not even wasting time. And he takes these knives and he stabs it in there. He's like, feeling in pain. Like, and yeah, the guy goes away, and Zuko just keeps going on, and he uses his knives to just stick people to the ground and then knock them out. Like, he's kind of insane. And like Oraka and Kirishima are watching him, and they're like, whoa. And then that's when they're just like, let's get out of here. And that's when Kirigiri comes, is like, and Bakugo and Kirishima attack it, and that's when he's like, oh, you're going away? And he teleports everyone. And Izuku sees this, he's like, god damn it. And he's finishing off a villain, and he punches him off, but he's like, Mr. Aizawa, they teleported everyone there. And he's like, oh, alright then, go and help them out. Get as much as people back to the area, back to 13. I can take care of these villains here. And Izuku's like, right. And yeah, the first place he goes is to the water area where Sue and Mineta is. So he goes there and he's like, if you guys need help, they're like, Izuku, help. And they're like, and that's what Mineta says. And Izuku's like, I can't walk on water. What can I do? It's like, all right, the most I can do is, all right, take out the villains. And Izuku sees the villains there waiting on water, and he's like, if they're all just standing still like that, well, swimming still like that, maybe. He's like, all right then. And Zuko's like, and he's like, he gets a running stop, and he jumps off, and he's jumps on the villain's head, and he's like, oh, and the villain's like, hey kid, and Zuko's like, go to sleep. And he neck chops the guy, and the guy was about to sink, but he jumps up to the next one, and he's just chopping their heads, and everyone's, well, not chopping these heads, like neck chopping them to pass them out, to make them pass out. And they're like, ooh. And everyone's seeing this, like, ah! They're like, swim away so it doesn't get to you. And Zuko's like, swimming away won't do nothing. And he chops one off, I keep saying chop, knocks one out, and he jumps to one that's swimming, and he kind of grabs the guy's head, and he's, well, let's just say he has hair, and he pulls it like it's a freaking, he's like freaking staring a bolt, and he's like, ow, and Zuko's like, swim to your friends, alright? And the guy's like, alright, and he starts swimming, and Zuko's pulling his hair to signaling to go faster. And Zuko's kind of using the guy as a speedboat, and he catches up to the other guys, and that's when he knocks out the other guy, and then he jumps to the others, and he knocks them out, and he uses the last guy like a speedboat again. And then he's like, hey, you guys, just jump down. And they're like, yeah, you just go on this guy. And like, are you sure? Yeah, he won't bite. He won't do nothing. And yeah, they come down, and they go on the guy. It looks like, swim us to the shore. And the guy's like, yes. And he swims in there, and Zuko's like, all right, thanks, man. And just freaking knocks him out. And they're like, whoa, Zuko, how were you able to do that? And Sue's like, maybe I'm pretty impressed with whatever she does. And Zuko's like, it's just nothing. And that's when they see Aizawa's bones being broken by the Nomu. And they're like, oh, what are we gonna do? They're like, crap. And Zuko looks at them, and he's like, all right, listen, you guys. I know this is gonna be stupid, but I'm gonna try to distract those two. And Sue, you're gonna grab Mr. Zawa, and you and Mena are gonna sprint the hell out of here. And like, Zuko, what the hell are you gonna do? It's like, I don't know, man, but I gotta do something. And they're like, alright then. And Zuko, just make sure you don't die, alright? It's like, right. And Zuko runs over to him and he's like, hey! Hand job! What the heck? And Shigawaki's like, who the hell said that? He's like, yeah, I'm talking to me. You know, just stop hurting the old man. You don't need to. You have pleasure on hurting your old man? And then freaking Shigawaki's like, oh, got a feisty one. You know, you're disrespecting your teacher. I guess Yue's not doing their job and disciplining you. And Zook's like, well, yeah, maybe not. But take that freaking wanna be All Might looking ass thing and your hand job looking ass face. Get out of my school. And he's kind of getting pissed off with this guy, and he's like, Nomu, let go of Izawa. And he lets him go instantly. He's like, kill the kid. And the Nomu starts running to Zuko, and Zuko's like, what the? And he just slightly dodges the Nomu's punch, and he's like, crap! And he just rolls back and he does cartflips back, and the Nomu's just trying to punch Zuko, but Zuko is only slightly dodging it, and Zuko's like, I can't keep this up. And he dodges the Nomu and he tries to do chi blocking, and then Zuko's like, that might have done it. And he's standing there kind of laughing, saying, oh, you villains are trash. And Shiraki's like, huh? Nomu? What are you doing? And the Nomu just like, yeah, and slaps Zuko away. Well, not full force, but Zuko's like, he's like, what the hell? How did that guy? He's like, oh, the only way. Oh, crap. And Zuko's already bleeding, and he's like, oh, the only way this thing was able to withstand my chi blocking is because he has thick skin. Tai Li is right. Not everything will go my way. But I'm a hero. Can't give up because of that. And Zuko goes back to Nomu, and Shiraki's like, oh, Nobu, destroy him. And then Zuko's like, gotta think fast. And he looks at like weak spots. And he sees the Nomu's brain, and Zuko instantly thinks, alright then. And the Nomu throws a punch, and Zuko jumps up and he runs up to the Nomu's arm, and he goes on the Nomu's back, and he takes out his blades and just stabs into Nomu's brain, and the Nomu just starts shrieking like in pain and just starts running everywhere. And Izuku's riding the Nomu, and he's like, oh, crap, and he's like, that seemed to work. And he sticks more blades in there, and the Nomu just shrieks even more in pain. And Shigaraki tries to get control of the Nomu. It's like, Nomu, stop! Nomu! And Izuku's just kind of riding the Nomu like it's a bull, and the Nomu's just running everywhere, and Zuko's like, oh, whoa! He's like, stop, Nomu! And he just inserts another blade in his brain, and he just pulls it, and the Nomu stops. And Zuko's like, wait, what the? He's like, I can kind of control this. What the? And the Nomu's you guys know Ratatouille? If you guys know Ratatouille, you know what I mean. You guys already know where it's going from. Izuku's controlling the Nomu by its brain, by placing it where the chi points would be. Because believe it or not, there's chi points in your brain, but since your skull protects it, there's no really point of going after that. But since the brain's completely exposed, Izuku's like, I never ever thought I could actually use this. And he's like, oh, Master Lee, Lee, right? Yeah, Lee, wow, you're not gonna believe this story. And he's controlling the Nomu, and Shigaraki's like, what the? And Izuku's like, your name is? Your name is, okay, Nomu? Destroy hand job. And he kind of controls the Nomu to go straight to Shigaraki and punch Shigaraki away. And Shigaraki and he cough out blast. Gary, get us out of here. And like, but sir, get the hell out of here. And he's like, right. And he teleports them out, leaving everyone here. And Izuku just kind of laughs and he's like, wow. And he jumps down to Nomu and he sees and he's like, huh. Anyways. And that's when All Might and all the heroes come and they see Izuku stopped everything. And they're quite impressed with him because he's quirkless, god dang it. So yeah. After the USJ incident, Nezu decided to give everyone a few days off to recover from the incident. And they'll actually call Izuku in, asking Izuku, how the heck were you able to stop that Nomu? Since you're quirkless and everything. And Izuku doesn't really want to explain everything completely, but he gives a vague description. He says, it's a technique that I developed. It's something that I found inside myself, and it took quite a long time for me to master, like 10 years. So, and I found out that it just stops people's pressure points, and yeah. And Nezu's like, but how were you able to stop a whole Nomu, which was designed to kill All Might? And examining the Nomu, we discovered that he had several different types of quirks. He has super regeneration, and shock absorption, and speed of strength, probably equivalent to All Might. And Izuku would just be like, lucky, I guess. And Nezu would be like, alright then, Izuku. No. I'll go back to class. So yeah, Izuku goes back to class and Aizawa comes in, telling him that to stay on guard and everything, that and the next sack is around the corner, and he says, it's the sports festival. And everyone's like, you don't scare us, whatever, like that. And he explains that he wants them to do their best and everything. So yeah, Izuku would be excited, and Uraraka would be most excited out of everyone, like having this different aura than she usually has, having a ferocious one. Is that a word? Yeah, it's good. Ferocious one. So yeah, Izuku goes back home and he goes, tells his mom about the sports festival. Then he goes and calls Ty Lee and Mei that he's going to be participating in the sports festival and wants to know if you guys are going to be watching. And Mei would reply, of course we are. Why would we want to see our only student come number one? Of course, like, we want to see that. And Zuko's like, alright then. Yeah, like you said, going for that number one spot. Cause like, you better. We taught you all we know. Now, you just gotta use it. And Zuko would just laugh and just say thanks, guys. So yeah, a few days go past and finally it's time for the sports festival. And before the match started in the locker rooms, Todoroki would actually challenge Bakugo this time and saying that I'm not gonna lose. I'm gonna win with my left side. And Bakugo's like, shut up, kid. You know I'm gonna come number one and all that ish. Like, and he declaring a war. And Izuku kind of feels some type of way because why is Todoroki challenging Bakugo instead of him? Because in Izuku's perspective, he's probably the strongest in the class. And Izuku would stand up and say, hey, Todoroki, why didn't you challenge me instead of Bakugo? And Bakugo was like, because I'm better than you. And Izuku was like, shh. Why? And Todoroki's like, you may have been able to defeat that Nomu, Bakugo, but you're nowhere near my level. And he just walks around and Izuku's like, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But this is the sports festival. And everyone has a chance for number one. So if you're going to challenge one person, you might as well challenge everyone. And Todoroki's like, And Zuko's getting pumped up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna show his ass," and everyone's like, "Yeah," getting pumped up, and they all walk out as usual. And Midnight starts to present all the things they're gonna be doing, and yeah, Bakugo has his speech because he came number one, and Zuko, I think. I don't know. I'm not gonna ponder on that. And yeah, he says, "I'm gonna win," and everyone gets angry at him as usual. So Midnight starts to present what the first activity is gonna be, and of course is the race, just like in anime. So they shout go, and Toroki shoots a pile of ice everywhere. But Izuku saw this coming and was actually able to jump up, and he started just running on top of everyone's head. And most of Class 1A was able to escape, and Toroki seeing this got agitated. So Izuku starts running and behind Toroki, and he's pretty quick on his feet. There's a reason why he didn't want mass on him. He just wanted lean muscle so he can be faster and more nimble, because it's required for his chi blocking. So Izuku would be running at full speed, actually at the front, while second chasing Toroki, and everyone will come behind. Bakugo would be pissed off that Izuku, someone without a quirk, is ahead of him, so he just tries to blast forward as fast as he can. So this goes on basically the whole race, where Toroki's first and Izuku second, Bakugo third, until they reach that hole's place. What's it called? Well, anyways, while Toroki swooshes by, Izuku actually has to jump from boulder to boulder. And it's easy for him, but it's still kind of slowing him down. That's where Bakugo takes initiative and blazes ahead of Izuku and says, "Ha ha, too slow." And Izuku's like, "God damn it." So he just starts try-harding on everything, just jumping from boulder to boulder, like, and one step and everything, and everyone's like, "Whoa, look at that agility!" And Izuku finally reaches it, and he just starts running and trying to catch up, and now he's in third place. And that's when they finally reach the minefield, and Toroki, as usual, is just as ahead, and Bakugo's actually catching up, and Toroki's trying to throw some ice at him, but it's not working. And Izuku's coming up, and he feels like he's not going to catch up anytime soon. So, that's in the anime. I'm just going to say he makes a hole of bombs and freaking shoots himself to number one spot. Claiming number one spot, yeah. And everyone shouts, "Izuku!" and man are like, "Yeah!" and Inko, and everything. So, yeah. Midnight starts to present the next battle, and what they're going to be doing is something called a Cavalry battle. And Izuku finds out that he has the most points. He has 10 million points, and he could just feel everyone stare at him, and he knows he's everyone's priority. So Izuku's trying to get some partners, and no one is biting until Uraka comes, and basically he's gonna form the same team as in the anime, because why not? And because people were also actually spreading, rumors. Well, not spreading rumors. People were starting to find out that Izuku was quirkless and all that stuff, and they wouldn't want to take that risk. So yeah, it finally starts, and it basically goes in the same like in the anime and all that stuff. I don't want to cover this one for too long, so I'm just gonna say it goes like in the anime, and yeah, Toroki takes it back, and then when Izuku's going back to take it, this time he does not use one for all, nothing. Toroki is about to use his fire side, and Izuku chi blocked it on both sides, and Toroki's arms just flapped down, and Izuku just kind of smiled and took 2 headbands back. And yeah, Toroki would be pissed off, and he's like, "Charge them!" But it would be too late. And Izuku would check the headbands and see that one of them was the 10 million points, making him the number one spot. So yeah. So finally, time for the final battle. They'll present the people they will be fighting first, and Izuku will be like Shinso. And yeah, Izuku will be walking back to his lockers. Well, not lockers. Well, you could say lockers. well, the waiting area, and that's when Ojo comes to him, telling him that you should look out for that Shinso guy. I suggest that you just take him out fast and quickly. And Izuku's like, all right then. So, and Izuku's not gonna, budge because, he's disciplined and he was taught to not relax in battle because he's at a disadvantage from being quirkless. Even though they have no physical combat, no, like combat experience or none of that, you're still at a disadvantage when you don't have a quirk. So that's how Ty Lee and Mei look at it. And now Izuku looks at it. So now he's in the battle and President Mike shouts, "Go!" And Shinso tries to talk ish to Izuku, but Izuku's not hearing it and sprints directly to Shinso, and Shinso flinches. And Izuku just kind of does the body slam like he did in the anime, just more quickly and more with more finesse, He kind of just like and it was like, oh, so cool. Anyways, and all the other battles goes the same, and finally it's time for the Izuku versus Todoroki. Before the match, as usual, before the match, Endeavor goes up to Izuku, is like, make Shoto. Never mind, it's useless. Should talk to the other guy. And Izuku's like, excuse me? It's like, well, you're quirkless, so you wouldn't even stand a candle to Shoto. And Izuku would be like, that's what you think, Endeavor. I could probably take you down too. But I'll leave that for later. And Endeavor's like, huh? And Izuku's already gone. And he's like, damn that kid. So yeah, President Mike finally states the battle's about to start, and before the battle, Izuku shouts, "Good luck, Todoroki. You're gonna need it." And Todoroki doesn't reply. And President shouts, "Go!" And Todoroki shoots a blast of ice like he did with Zero. That's his name? Right, Zero. And everyone thought the battle was over until they heard a cracking noise, and Izuku was able to bust out the ice. And everyone's like, wait, what the? And Izuku's like, don't underestimate me, Todoroki. Just because I'm quirkless doesn't mean I'm defenseless. And he goes running down and he throws the knives, blades, you could say, mini blades, at Shoto. And Shoto's like, wait, I didn't know he had that. And everyone's wondering, why are you getting after that? And someone makes a comment like, Azawa's like, he's allowed to have the weapons since he is technically quirkless, and if the support course can use things, I think it's fair enough that he can use them. And like, all right then. So yeah, they call back to the battle, and Izuku's just kind of pressing Todoroki with these miniature blades, just throwing them all over the place, and Todoroki's using his eyes to block it all. And Izuku realized that this is just useless. He's just wasting all these blades. And he tries to make a diversion. So he throws the blades, and as Todoroki puts up the ice, he says, "It's useless. I can do this all day. And your blades will never cut through my ice." And as he's saying that, having his monologue, Izuku was actually able to sneak behind using kind of like the fog from all the ice and all that, and snuck behind. He's like, "Is that so?" And he sends a kick to Todoroki's face, and he actually hits him, and Todoroki hits the ice, and Izuku's like, and about to chi block him, but Todoroki just shot out a big amount of ice, trying to get distance away from him, and Todoroki's like, oh crap, that was close. And he's trying to recover, thinking Izuku's stuck in the ice, and it's going to take a while for him to get out, but Izuku actually just emerges from the skies, and Todoroki's like, wait, what? And Izuku's like, and he throws blades, and Todoroki shows some ice. Izuku lands on the ice, does a backflip, and kicks Todoroki again. And he forces Todoroki to have a close fight, a hand-to-hand fight, and Todoroki already knows that he already figured out his weakness. And Izuku's like, and Todoroki's like, God damn it, how did he figure it out? And Izuku's just kind of smiling, throwing kicks at a fast, alarming rate, and Todoroki's trying to dodge, but this is kind of child's play for Izuku. And Todoroki's like, that's enough, and he throws his ice, and Izuku just goes on top of the ice and is doing a handstand, and he goes and he just flips back and he lands on one foot. Toroki's like, "This is not a circus. Stop fooling around and fight me." And Izuku's like, "Well, I am fighting me, but you're just not using your full amount of power. What kind of fun is that?" And Toroki's like, "Huh?" It's like, yeah, I know about your fire side. I wonder why you don't use it." And Toroki's like, "Shut up. You don't know nothing about me." And Izuku's like, "Don't give me that stupid line. Just use your goddamn fire side. It's your quirk. I'm out here quirkless, having to use as much as power as I can, and you out here trying to use your full power, your half your power to win. That's mad disrespectful to everyone, and I don't wanna win like that. I wanna prove to everyone here that I'm a full-fledged hero, and I'm gonna defeat everyone." It's like Toroki's like, "You don't know," and Izuku's like, "It's your quirk, not his, man. And okay, if you don't understand that, I'm just gonna have to defeat you right here and then." And Izuku jumps off the ice and starts sprinting to Toroki. And Toroki is having his flashback as usual. And as Izuku was coming close, a burst of fire came. And Izuku just cartwheels back and he has a grin on his face. He's like, "Alright then." And then Toroki's throwing a combination of fire and ice at Izuku, and Izuku's just narrowly dodging it, trying to use the ice to push up stuff and dodging the fire. And Toroki says, "Time to win this." And he tries to do his finisher move, and Izuku sees this and just crap, and he starts sprinting to Toroki at full pace. And before Izuku can reach Toroki threw his fire attack, and Izuku's like, "Crap!" And he took the blunt of it, and he's still going forward, and his form's just being burnt, and everyone's like, "Oh!" And Izuku was like, "Ah!" And he leaped forward, and Toroki didn't see this, and he's like, "Wait, what?" And Izuku tried to cheat block Toroki around his arm, but Izuku actually missed, and he'd be like, "Wait, what?" And he actually hit it right in the stomach, and suddenly Toroki's flames and ice just stopped, and Toroki's eyes just went white, and he passed out. And everyone's like, "What the?" And the paramedics go up to Toroki trying to wake him up, and they signal out that he's knocked out, and President Mike's like, "Oh, Izuku Midoriya knocked out. Shout out to Toroki." And everyone starts going wild, wondering what happened, that a quirkless kid was able to defeat the number 2's hero's son. Like, everyone's just flabbergasted. I like saying that, flabbergasted. Anyways, so yeah, Izuku would be carried away on a stretcher, and he would be thinking, "Wait, what just happened?" And May and Ty Lee are watching the screen, and they're like, "Did he actually?" And May's like, "Yeah." And that's like basically her first time surprise, and Ty Lee's just jumping around the room like, "Izuku done it! Izuku done it!" And May's like, "You really think he done it?" He's like, what does that look like? He literally done it. He was able to do the ultimate chi block." And she's like, no, that can't be it. It's like, "Yeah, I remember I told him about it, and that was something he had to figure out by himself, and he done it." And May's like, oh my gosh, that kid is actually special. And Tyler's like, "Right?" and everything. So Izuku would be back in the locker room, and he would be reflecting. He's like, I was able to do it? Wait, but what happened? And he wouldn't be able to recall what happened. He didn't know. All he remembered, he was trying to aim for the arm, and then he missed. That's it. So yeah, Izuku would be wondering that and all that stuff, and while he's wondering, Bakugo would just kick in the door and be like, "Huh? You in the wrong place?" As usual, and all that is, and Izuku's just like, "Go back to your locker." I'll say. So yeah, finally for the final battles about to start, and they tell each of them to come to the plate, and President Mike shouts, "We got the final! we got the quirk stopping Izuku. He reminds me of you, Wazawa. Making like a joke and everyone starts laughing. Against the fairy explosion Bakugo. Everyone's like, and he's like, begin! And Bakugo is coming straight towards Izuku. And Izuku's honestly just thinking, it's like, what could have? And Bakugo comes, die! And Izuku's like, oh, you're here. And he just dodges Bakugo and literally just freaking punches him in the gut. And it was like, and that punch made him freaking spit out blood. And everyone's like, oh, and Izuku just slams him into the ground and freaking knocks him out and throws him out. And everyone's like, and everyone's hyped. And everyone's like, pretty much, what the heck? Izuku Midori was able to beat Bakugo just in 2 hits. What amazing! And everyone's just going crazy, and Izuku wouldn't be able to take it in that he won. He was just confused of what happened, and that's when everyone starts coming to Izuku's like, "You won!" And Izuku be like, "Wait, I won, yeah!" And get hyped. So yeah. After they have the medal ceremony and all that ish, Bakugo will be tied up because he's furious that he lost and that amount of hits. But by Bakugo actually losing twice to Izuku, he's starting to humble up and actually take Izuku seriously as a rival now, because he was able to defeat him easy twice, and Bakugo's on a losing streak. And now Todoroki be reflecting on what Izuku said, and was it right to use his fire side and all that stuff. So yeah, all that goes the same, and finally the few days go past and everyone's back at school. So Ozawa shows everyone how many internship offers they got, and Izuku actually didn't get so many. He got the 5th most in the class, even though he came number 1. And everyone be thinking that, and they're like, maybe they thought that win was fishy or something against Todoroki, and they'll be like, wait, what did happen? We never asked. And Izuku's like, I don't know myself, but I'm gonna find out. Before it even happened, I basically passed out myself. I don't have any recollection of how or what's actually done. And everyone's like, yeah, we could barely see because you've been flamed with all that fire. Zuko's like, yeah. So anyways, and Zuko would be kind of pissed off that he didn't get the most, because he did come number 1 and now people are still doubting him. And it's like, what the? Anyways, and he gets over it. So yeah, they come up with the hero names as usual, and Zuko would be thinking, what could my hero name be? And I'm just gonna say nothing much. He's gonna say the trapeze hero, Deku. Might as well just do that. So yeah, so Izuku's still deciding who he wants to go with until All Might actually signals him to come close, and he's asking, come here, kid, come here. And Izuku be like, wait, me? And he's like, yeah. So yeah, All Might would talk to Izuku asking that your abilities is amazing, and he wanted to offer an internship to Izuku, and he's like, wait, an internship with you? And he's like, no, not with me, with my old master. And Izuku be like, your old master? Wait, All Might, you had a master? He's like, yeah, he used to train me back in the days when I was in UA. And he actually had a peak interest in you, and he asked me to ask you, because, yeah. And All Might would be kind of shaking, thinking of Gran Torino, and Izuku would be like, All Might, who is this master of yours? And All Might, it's fine, Izuku, young Midoriya, here's his internship offer. And Izuku would be terrified now, but he will still take it, since it is All Might's old master, and now All Might's the number 1 hero of the world. Why wouldn't he take that? So yeah, not in the world, in Japan, my bad. So yeah, finally internships come around, and he goes to Gran Torino's place, and basically it's the same as in the anime. he walks in and he pretends dead and wakes up, and Izuku's getting triggered like, well, bro, I thought I was supposed to do something. And Gran Torino suddenly starts attacking Izuku, and Izuku's taking it, and Gran Torino's like, try to catch me, and all that ish, and Izuku's getting hit and he's getting pissed off, so he jumped to a side of the walls, and Gran Torino's like, smart, so now I can't attack you from that side, but you're still no match for my speed. And Izuku's trying to analyze Gran Torino's thing, because this is something Tylee actually taught him to do, because you need to have fast reaction time, because when back in the day when she was with the trapeze and all that stuff, you had to have fast reaction time to be able to change positions and go and grab the next pole and all that stuff. And Izuku would do that, but on a superhuman level. Izuku's just a hard worker, so yeah. Now Izuku's reaction time is let's just say something else. So yeah, Izuku's observing and Gran Torino's like, you can't, and Gran Torino would try to kick Izuku, and Izuku would dodge, grab his leg and freaking punch him in the gut, and Gran Torino and started coughing out, well, not sucking out blood, but he just kind of goes like, more like spit, because Izuku hold back, because he is an old man, and he's like, caught you, and Gran Torino's like, quite a blow, kid. You could have killed me there. And Zuko's like, no, I didn't mean to kill you, and go into his defensive mode, and he'll just kind of laugh it off. He's like, I'm joking. And he would be very impressive with Zuko, man, his reaction time. And Gran Torino would tell him, alright, Zuko, you basically have everything. But what I wanted to do was improve in your agility and speed. See, I know since you don't have a quirk, you're gonna have to do things a more traditional ways. Well, and Zuko be like, oh, okay. And yeah, and since Zuko's like agility superhuman level, he would Gran Torino will show what he does when he jumps around the room, and see if Izuku could do it on a kind of a scale. And Izuku was able to do it, and he's very impressed. And that's when he says, alright then, kid, let's go outside and see if we can do parkour. And Izuku would be like, parkour? And Gran Torino's like, why are you laughing? Well, you'll see. So yeah, Izuku completely dominates in parkour. He jumps from wall to wall, and he's just showing off to Gran Torino. And Gran Torino's like, alright, kid. It seems like you're ready. Let's go out and go on a patrol for once. Take out some small time villains and all that ish. And they're on the train, and then the Nomu attacks as usual. It tells Izuku to stay, but he does not, because he knows Ida's there, so he jumps down. He jumps down, and he has some tech support, let's just say, that allows him to land from giant heights and all that stuff, reduces like the strain on his ankle or whatever. So he starts running and trying to find Ida, and Izuku would find him just in time, and you would just see that Ida's trying to fight Stain, but Stain is obviously overpowering him, and he comes in and he kicks the blade away first, and he kicks Stain in the face, and then he lands and he grabs Ida, and he starts to run away a little, put him down, and Ida's like, what are you doing here? And all that ish, and he's like, saving your butt. And he would just start running back to Stain, and Stain would be like, a true hero. I thought you were running away, but and then he shows Native, and he's like, only a true hero would have came back. So Izuku just starts to get in a battle with Stain, and he would recognize Stain's combat, and he would be impressed by it, and he's like, your combat abilities is quite impressive. And Stain's like, yours too, kid. But Izuku's like, well, there's one aspect you don't know about it. And Stain would be like, huh? And Izuku freaking use his chi blocking to block Stain's body and be like, and kick Stain around, and Izuku would be like, it's kind of funny. My technique is kind of close to your quirk, but mine is cooler and user-friendly. And Stain's kind of getting pissed off. He's like, and Izuku kicks him away, and he picks up Native, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And Native just like, "Get me out of here," acting like a sushi. Anyways, Izuku would help him up, and Ito would finally recover, and he's like, "All right, let's go." And they're like, "We gotta take Stain," and he's like, "Ah, it's fine, he's disabled." That's when Stain just starts going up. He's like, "I won't let you go." And Izuku like, "Wait, what the?" And Ito's like, "I thought you paralyzed him or something." And he's like, "I thought I did." And Stain's like, "I won't let you go." And Stain like freaking picks up picks up one of the blades, and he puts it in his mouth and starts running at them at speed, like at pretty fast speeds. And Zuko's like, "Wait, what?" And Stain was about to stab them until freaking Toroki came with a flame of fire and freaking flamed him away. And Zuko like, "Whew, thanks, Toroki." And Toroki's like, "Next time, please give a more accurate location." And Zuko like, "Oh, my bad." And Stain's like, "No, I won't let you guys kill me. Only All Might can kill me." And Zuko be like, "All right then, Stain." So then he comes up to Stain and he's like, "That's enough!" And he uppercuts him, knocking him out. And yeah, they tie him up and all that ish. Endeavor comes and he does all that ish, you know. The Nomu comes and there's inspiring everyone to still be a villain and all that stuff. Jibber jabber goes the same. So yeah, and all that is, the credit goes to Endeavor. And Izuku and Toroki scold Ida for what he was doing, and he apologizes, and you know, and they all become friends, and all that goes the same. So finally go back to school, and it's time for the final exams, and everyone would do pretty well, and Izuku would be doing average, cause yeah, let's just say that. And now it's finally time for the physical part of the exam. And as usual in the anime, Bakugo and Izuku will be having to face the man himself. It's All Might. And everyone's just kind of feels bad for them that they have to go against the number one hero. And yeah. So yeah, before the match, Izuku would try to strategize with Bakugo, but Bakugo would refuse, and Izuku would be pissed off until Bakugo comes and is like, "Okay, what's your stupid plan, Izuku?" And Izuku smiles and he's like, "All right then, here's what I got." So yeah, finally time for the thing. So it starts and Izuku's like, "You remember the plan?" And Bakugo's like, yeah. And then that's when All Might throws his massive punch, and that's when Izuku's like, "Come on, go on the building." And that's when they go on the top of the building to actually hide. And everyone's watching would be surprised that Bakugo's hiding. Like, they'll be like, "But he's just kind of like the front up guy." And everyone would be confused and like, "What the?" And All Might would be like, "Haha, so you guys are hiding. I never thought of you heroes to be cowards, but I would be afraid of my power too." And that's when Bakugo comes and is like, "No one's afraid of your stupid power, All Might." And he releases a goblin and freaking explosion happens. And from that explosion, All Might's fine. It's like, "I didn't expect that from the start, but that will do." And All Might's like, "That explosion of yours did nothing." And Bakugo smiles, is like, "Ha, did it?" And Izuku would be behind All Might, and he freaking threw freaking thousands of I'm exaggerating. He threw about like 50 freaking jabs to All Might, and he's like, "Crap, All Might's too strong. Where is his pressure points? What the?" And All Might's like, "You think that will stop me?" And Zuko's like, maybe not." And he tries to swipe Izuku away, and Izuku jumps onto All Might's arm. And he's like, and he tries to chi block I'm exaggerating, 50 times to All Might's arm, and All Might's like, "This won't do anything." And Zuko's like, "Oh, okay." And he jumps away doing cartwheels, and All Might be like, "Huh?" And that's when he shouts, "Bakugo again!" And his Bakugo would have landed somewhere and goes into the air. He's like, and All Might's like, "Not again!" And like he's like, "Not today!" And dashes to Bakugo, but suddenly you just feel this agonizing pain in his arm and back, and you be like, what the? And you'd be like, oh, young Midoriya, I was too cocky. I shouldn't have let me do that. And that hesitation allowed Bakugo to use his other gauntlet, which actually sent All Might to the ground, and Izuku came again with the fury of freaking chi blocking jabs to the legs, and All Might would know this would slow him down, so he kicks Izuku off, and Izuku flies up into the air, and Bakugo's like, God damn it, and he flies up and he takes Izuku, and he slingshot Izuku back to All Might, and Izuku is like, crap, and he kind of does backflips in the air to slow him down, and that's when he goes on All Might's shoulders and just tries to knock him out, and Izuku's like, oh my, what the heck are you made off of? And All Might just laughs and takes Izuku and kind of rubs him into the ground, slamming him in there, and that's when Bakugo's like, God damn it, and All Might's like, now you're not a threat. You don't have to. Your gauntlet's not filled with sweat anymore. So you're toast. Bakugo's like, who said I needed a gauntlet? If I want to win, gotta take some risks. And Bakugo uses a giant explosion, kind of equivalent to his cannons, gauntlets, yeah. And Baku will be like from the pain that he's experiencing, but he knows this is worth it. And All Might's like, I didn't expect that. And Izuku comes again with blood running down his stream. He's like, this will do it. And he goes up to All Might and he's like, ah. And he tries to punch All Might, but does nothing. And he tries to punch All Might, and All Might's just standing there, and everyone's like, and the dust settles, and All Might's just standing there looking down. He's like, and he was about to punch Izuku, but he just freezes, and he's like, ah, and all those chi blocks Izuku done to All Might finally starts to take effect, and All Might starts to freeze up, and he falls to the ground. Well, one part of him paralyzed, and Izuku's like, no! And they just head for the exit because they know they're not taking in All Might. Like, they're not taking that risk, and they actually do pass, and everyone's impressed with their performance. So yeah, now finally, yeah, everyone passes, everyone fails, like in the anime. So they go to the mall and they have to encounter with Shigaraki. And Izuku doesn't really do anything because, he knows Shigaraki's not to do anything. And he answers his question, like, saying why Stain's bigger and all that stuff. And, yeah, he gets all that. So, yeah, time for the summer camp. So, yeah, they arrive at the place and they meet the pussy cats. And they start to explain that they own this whole property and all that stuff, and that's when they're being let down and it's like that. And they have to find the beast, and Zuko's chi blocking wouldn't work here, but he would just basically be bait and use his agility to like lure the beast into traps the other students made and all that stuff, which was actually good teamwork that Izuku showed. So yeah, they finally come out, and as usual, she'll be impressed by those four: Bakugo, Todoroki, Izuku, and Ida. And meets Toga. Izuku still gets punched, as usual. And yeah, all that goes the same. The next day, they do training, and Izuku does not really do quirk enhancement. He does body enhancement with that guy. And building on his strength. And on his speed, because if he puts on his strength, more on his speed, becoming more agile and all that stuff. Goes to the same, they have to cook for themselves as usual, all that day two, and finally it's time. So nighttime happens, and suddenly they get attacked by the League of Villains, and Zuko would realize that Kota's by himself, so he tells that one of the pussycat people that he has to go and get Kota, and she's like, yeah, get Kota, because, she likes Kota. Not likes, loves Koda, you know? Yeah, loves Koda. So yeah, Izuku arrives and he sees Koda about to get punched by Muscular, and Izuku throws a rock at Muscular, and Muscular's like, huh? And he looks back and no one's there, and Izuku's suddenly behind Muscular, and he grabs grabs Koda and he runs. He kind of not runs. He jumps from rock to put Koda on a higher rock, you know, a higher rock. But yeah, a higher rock. So Muscular couldn't get him and all that stuff. He jumps down and he's like, who the hell are you? And he's like, you're answering questions, kid. Stop all that. I'm here for answers. Before I kill you, I just want to ask, you know where this kid is? And Baku's like, and Izuku's like, Kachan. Bakugo? Or whatever. And he's like, Bakugo. Thanks for the information, kid. That's all I need from you. It's time to kill you. And Muscular come storming at Izuku, and Izuku jumps over him. And he tries to cheat block him, but Izuku's fingers kind of crack a little, and he'd be like, crap. And Muscular would be like, oh, your puny fingers can't even dance my muscle tissue. Yeah, muscle tissues, right? Is it? Well, anyways, and yeah, Izuku would keep trying, but Izuku's knuckles would just become bloodier and bloodier and start opening, and Muscular would be like, oh, that's all you got, kid, and he smacks Izuku away, and he's like, this is all you have? He's like, well, I might as well enjoy it. So he throws Izuku in the air and kind of just pounds on Izuku, and Izuku at this point is like a bloody corpse, and Koda is witnessing all of this, and he's just crying like, and yeah, and Izuku's like like coughing out blood and ish, and he starts standing up, and Muscular's like, oh, you got a tough one. I'm not gonna lie, kid. Respect for you standing up, but I'm still gonna have to kill you. And he starts to get excited until Koda drenches some water on Muscular, and Muscular's like, oh, kid, what the heck are you doing? And he just kind of like, what the heck? And Izuku realizes that this is the time, and he thinks about what Tai Lee taught him, and he told him, and he's like, this technique could defeat everyone. You know, that echoation. He's like, you need to figure this out by yourself. And then he remembers the sports festival. It's like, Rookie with just one hand. And in that moment, Izuku remembered what he done. He was able to hit that small vital point. That vital point that Tai Lee told him that he would have to figure out himself. Like during that sports festival, he did, but he just didn't remember it. And Izuku was like, so that's the location. And Izuku be like, Muscular! And Muscular be like, so the kid's alive. And he'll just start limping to Muscular, and Muscular would be like, just let it happen, because it's amusing to him. And Izuku would stand right next to Muscular, and Muscular's like, oh, you're making it easier for me to kill you. Good choice, kid. And he lifts up in his foot, he's like, well, you were a good punching bag. And he starts boiling it down, and Izuku just kind of grins, and Muscular be like, huh? And Izuku just does a freaking chi punch straight into that vital place. And suddenly Muscular just stopped, and all his muscle just goes away, retracts, and his eyes just go blank and just passes out. And Izuku sees that he finally was able to hit that vital point that Tai Lee said that's why she would be able to take out basically anyone that she wanted. Is with this overpowered pressure. Well, not pressure. Pressure point, which freaking deactivates someone completely, stopping the quirk and knocking off the person. And Zuko's like, whoa. And he's like, and he does the scream like in the anime and Koda sees that and he, becomes his hero as usual. So Zuko puts Koda on his back and he starts going and he finds Aizawa and Aizawa's like, what happened to this kid? And Zuko's like, we gotta get Bakugo. And he passes out into Aizawa's arms. So by Izuku passing out, different things happen. Tokoyami goes on rampage as usual and all that stuff, and Shoji would just be hiding. And Bakugo and Todoroki were able to take out that tooth guy, and he wouldn't know that he's the target. So they'll be walking around. I forgot who on their back, but someone on their back, I think. Well, anyways, he'll be walking around, and then Compress would come around and actually just take Bakugo, and Todoroki would try to fight him off, but Compress just, I think, flew away. And taking Bakugo away. So Zuko finally wakes up in the hospital, and he sees that all his friends is there, and they start talking about trying to save Bakugo and ish like that. And Zuko would blame himself because he's like, I knew they were going to take Bakugo, but because I was so weak, I passed out. I wasn't able to inform everyone. And everyone's like, it's not your fault, Zuko. You couldn't have. And Zuko's like, well, it feels like my fault. And that's why I gotta go and save him. I gotta save my friend. And all that ish goes the same. And during dark, they go to save Bakugo. And the Pro Heroes doing their stuff. And basically that pit, there's not really much of a change, if I'm being honest. They just rescue Bakugo and they get out of here. There's not much for me to say. All My Face is all for one. And All Might still defeats him, but giving up his number one spot and all of One for All. And he's like, good luck, young Mirio. And like that, that's what I'm saying. So they come back to school and he tells them that all of you would have been suspended and all that stuff. The dorm rooms happen, basically all the same. And ultimate techniques, and Zuko's just working on trying to hit that precise spots where to hit people. And he asked for a meeting with Nezu, and he'll tell Nezu all about chi blocking, and Nezu's like, I knew what it was. Wait, what? He's like, yeah. It's a technique I've read in the books, but I never thought that someone would actually be able to do it, and you done it, Izuku. I'm quite impressed, and you're going to be a very good asset to the Hero Society one day, so keep going. Don't get discouraged, and master that ultimate technique. You're going to be a real threat. Maybe number one, Izuku. Zuko hearing this from the freaking principal from UA. Zuko's basically egos out of the room, and he's just so grateful. So he goes on to work on his stuff. So finally for the license exam, not much changes. But instead, since Toga didn't really see Izuku that night because he passed out, she would just be after more of Uraraka's blood or Suu's blood or whatever. Let's just say that. So Izuku wouldn't have that encounter. So everyone passes besides Todoroki and Bakugo. And he's pissed off as usual. So they go back home and Bakugo tells Izuku to meet him at this beta ground as usual, and Bakugo tries to fight Izuku, and Izuku's not really fighting back, he's just dodging, and Izuku is shocked, what the heck, Bakugo? And Bakugo's kind of starts to break down, saying he doesn't know how it's got to this point, how everything has changed. You were quirkless, and now suddenly people saying that you're so strong and you'll defeat people. How is this possible? And you're able to defeat him twice so easily. And Izuku would just tell Bakugo, was like, you know, it wasn't hard for it wasn't it was so hard for me to get to this point, Bakugo. When they told me I was quirkless, you wouldn't understand how my heart dropped, thinking that I didn't have a quirk. And maybe my dream would just fade away. But I got this glimmer of hope where I was able to find a family, you know, with a second family with my two masters, Mei and Tai Li, and they taught me everything I knew. It was a long process, but I deserve this spot. I deserve to be here as much as you. I put in much more work than you did, as Bakugo. And that's something you need to understand and something you need to acknowledge. If you want to progress forward. If you want to progress forward as my rival, Bakugo. And Bakugo would hear these words and he'd be kind of talk no jutsu and come back to his senses, and he'll tell Izuku, alright then, Deku, I'm gonna surpass you. I guess that's my rival. I don't want to say it out loud. And Izuku just kind of laughs, and that's when All Might comes and he says, like, he sees that Izuku and Bakugo are normal, and he'd be like kind of smile because he could see those guys were ferocious from the start, but now they seem like more relaxed together, like they more than they've ever been, and he's kind of glad to see that, but he'll tell them that they're in trouble and all that ish. So yeah, the mirror incident will happen. Like, he would talk to Izuku, and it's like, you're that quirkless kid that can defeat everyone, huh? You're pretty lean. Alright then. And all that ish. So you get off stuff, and Miro would come and everything, and yeah, he would fight class 1A. So Miro to defeat everyone, and finally he comes to Zuko, where Zuko was able to predict it, and he would actually throw a chi hit to Miro's stomach, but Miro just kind of laughed, and he's like, and he'll permeate and actually do the blinder touchy attack and freaking got Zuko, and Zuko kind of tank at and grab Miro's arm and try to chi block it, and it actually become paralyzed, and Miro be like, huh, that's a neat quirk you got there, but, and it just goes underneath and freaking knocks Izuku out. It's like, I'm stronger, and it's like, power, and Miro would start to explain what his quirk is, and it took hard work, and Izuku be taking down notes and be like, yes, and Miro's thinking in his mind that he's impressed with Izuku and all that ish like that. So yeah, Aizawa tells them to get a work study, and Izuku goes to ask Miro if he go with Night Eye, and he goes to Night Eye's agency, and I'm just gonna say Izuku was able to make Night Eye laugh, which was surprising to Izuku. He kind of made like an All Might joke that All Might said a long time ago, and at first Night Eye usually wouldn't laugh to reuse jokes, but since it was so funny to him back in the day, he would just laugh, and he's like, I guess you do your research, Izuku. And Izuku was like, yeah, alright then, I guess you do have a space in our agency and assignment and all that ish. So they go on their patrol as usual, and they encounter Eri, and they let him go with overhaul, feeling regretful, and well, yeah, they do have full regret and all that ish, and finally it's time for the overhaul invasion. So yeah, basically all that goes the same, and until Izuku comes in and all that stuff, and Mirio's freaking bleeding and all, and also Overhaul is bleeding since Mirio has one for all, and he used it, and he actually made Overhaul stunned, and Mirio stunned, and Overhaul and Night Eye tries to find him, but he gets stabbed, and Izuku would be like, alright then, I guess it's up to me. And Overhaul would just kind of be holding his stomach because he hurts. So he's using his one hand to make spikes, but Izuku dodges the spikes, being agile, and he was actually able to step foot on them because he's really light, and he's able to do that. And Naida would be observing this, and he'd be like, "Oh, this kid has potential," and he would be freaking going on the spikes and everything, and overall be like, no, and he would try to fuse with these things, but he's just too hurt to do that, and he'll be like, I can't do. And he would try to do more spikes, but Izuku's approaching him fast, and Izuku jumps off the spikes and kind of he usually smiles, but this time he's freaking angry because he knows what he done to Eri, and Izuku's like, take this, and he sees the precise spot where he should hit to shut him down, and overall it's like, and Izuku hits him, and overall he's like, and he shuts down and knocks out, and Izuku's like, good riddance, finishing everything off. And Mirio and Night-Eye would be glad that everything's done, but Night-Eye, he needs to be rushed to the hospital. So I'm gonna say Night-Eye actually survived, since he's wounded. He got freshly wounded, and it didn't take Izuku too long to finish him off, and some medicals to come. But all I'm gonna say is that he actually had to retire as a hero because his respiratory system is really messed up, just like All Might's, and Night-Eye would kind of laugh it off with them. All Might saying that they have the same injury now, and let's just say by saying that, it takes a lot of stamina to use these what is this called again? For Night-Eye? What? Future vision? Yeah, let's just say it takes a lot of stamina to do that. So yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm getting off today. I hope you guys enjoyed. What if Deku had cheap blocking? I really enjoyed this. This actually took 2 days to record. I recorded on Friday. That's why I was supposed to get it out, but something prevented from me to finish it. So I was busy the whole weekend. So yeah, I'm recording this on Monday, and yeah, I'm getting this out on Monday. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. It's been King Dono signing out. Peace.